Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another KillConnorClub podcast. Our guest today, James and I are both super excited. We have the voice actress for Evie Frye in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Victoria Atkin. How are you going, Victoria?
I'm very well, thank you.
It's good to hear. We're both super excited to have you on.
We are super excited. This is you're our first official guest. we've had a few YouTubers on in the past, but you're our first person actually involved with Assassin's Creed. So I mean, you're lucky.
Well, I feel very honoured. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
No problem.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I guess where I wanted to start was, I'm sure you've been asked this a couple times, but you're the first actual female protagonist in a major console Assassin's Creed game. Like, that's got to feel special to you.
It is. It really is an honour to bring this character to life. And not only the voice, I did the motion capture and the facial capture for Evie. So it was a very long process, which was just incredible from start to. Well, I mean, it's not even out yet. So it's an amazing process. And yes, to be able to be Evie is a great honor.
Yeah.
Well, so Tyler, if you want to carry on what you were going to say there, if that was linking on.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, there's been a lot of times Ubisoft has seemed over the years very hesitant to have and commit to having a female protagonist, especially in their console games. And, something over the years that I've seen that I'm like, maybe it's not the right time. But now I think this is like the best time, and they're really capitalizing on it. And I guess I was wondering, what was it like working with Ubisoft in the sense of being that first female hero in their major worlds? And was there any extra pressure you felt from that?
I don't know. I suppose the pressure is whether the fans are going to love it when it comes out, which I really hope that what I've done with Evie, they will very much warm to her and like what she's done. And she is very different to, the assassins that we've had in the past because of being a female. She has different traits, and she has different ways of navigating through the environment. And I just think the way she thinks about things, as men and women are, very different. So I worked with a lot of people at Ubisoft from every single team, and I mean, I didn't even get to meet half probably of the people that are working on that game. So everybody was very welcoming. I think everybody at Ubisoft is very excited about Evie as well. So no pressure, just excitement, really. I think for a woman to put a flag in the ground in the Assassin's Creed franchise.
Yeah. I was just from like a community standpoint, from like me and Tyler, and obviously the rest of my subscribers and Tyler's subscribers as well, because I've made several videos about like, the female protagonist, like who do people prefer, and it seems like a lot of people definitely are like more excited for Evie than Jacob. Not to say that Jacob, like his character's bad at all, but certainly for me as well, I am really, really excited for Evie, because I looked at Syndicate, like seeing it coming out and everything, and thought like nothing too special, because like I've always loved the older AC games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, seeing Evie's character really kind of like brought everything back for me from the older games, and that's kind of like the character that really got me hyped like for Syndicate.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. That's good. No, it's what was the question?
It wasn't really a question. I was just adding to what.
Well, that's good. No, I really
said.
feel like she does definitely brings a different dimension to it, and it does add a spark. And I really, doing the cinematics and interacting with the characters, I brought, I think just having a woman on the motion capture floor with all these men all the time, it does bring an element of, a different energy. So I'm very happy that will seep through into the game, and, how she interacts is, as well as her skills and, the badass nature. I don't know if you saw the Fight Club gameplay demo. Did you see that?
I've seen a few bits. Yeah.
Yeah, that was exciting to see, because I hadn't seen that animated. So yeah, it definitely throws a different dimension in the mix, which is exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely with James on that, because I mean, the thing I'm probably most excited about in the game was Evie's character, because maybe when I was playing the older games when they were coming out, like Ezio and Altair, those were great characters, and I wasn't sure if I was like, after those characters, I was like, do I want to be playing as a female protagonist at some point? And now I didn't expect to be as excited as I am, and I think the community seems to be so behind Evie already. Have you felt that response from the community?
Certainly, yeah, and it just encourages me even more that you say this, because when I went to Comic-Con, I began to really realize the impact of Evie on the franchise and how supportive the fans are, and they've been incredible across social media, and I just want them to go on this fantastic journey, because I know what happens and where she goes and all these different things that happen, and I cannot wait for you guys to explore and to enjoy playing as Evie through Victorian London, because the environment as well just is wonderful.
Yeah, well, that sounds super exciting. I can't wait to play as Evie in the game. But something I wanted to ask, like, about you is how exactly you got into acting, how you got into being Evie Frye. So yeah, if you could just tell us your kind of background.
My journey. Well, I always wanted to be an actress. I wrote it down before I could spell actress. I found in a little diary in my parents' loft. So yeah, I always wanted to be an actress. I always did little, shows for anyone who would watch them when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And my fireplace was my stage, where it was in front of the fireplace. And so I just pursued that, and my soul always wanted to do that. And so I pursued that with my studies at school, and then I went on to university and did a degree in devised theatre. And then I went on to drama school and did my master's degree at a very prestigious school where Laurence Olivier, Judi Dench, Vanessa Redgrave went, which is the Central School of Speech and Drama in Swiss Cottage in London. And from there, I was very fortunate to land a series regular role in a big teen drama called Hollyoaks in England, which has been running for nearly 20 years, which is very exciting, and I played a really great character on that. So from there, then I went to America, and I decided to take the leap of faith, as it were, and
Okay.
I auditioned for Assassin's Creed like I would for anything else, the same way I would for a movie or a television job. And they asked me to self-tape and send it over to the team in Quebec. And that was the process, and that's how it started. And from there, they asked me to do it again, because they wanted me to do it in a northern accent first. So she was going to sound very much like Ygritte from Game of Thrones. And then they said, okay, we're not going to set it in the north of England, we're going to set it in London, and can Victoria do a British London accent? And my manager said, well, we'll see what she can do. So it's my native sound, London. So I sent that back, and they were very, very pleased with it and flew me over to meet producers. And I suppose the rest is history. And then the next thing I know, I'm in a motion capture shoot with Paul Amos, who plays Jacob. It was great. It was such a wonderful audition process, a lot of trusting, because it was a long process.
I've heard in the past from other voice actors in Assassin's Creed that none of them knew what they were auditioning for. Was that the same for you, or did you know you're going into Assassin's Creed here?
No, I had no clue. I didn't know. I knew that she was an action heroine. I knew it was for a video game. But I'd never even auditioned for a video game in my life. I didn't really know. They sent me these instructions to run around and jump and kick and do these things, and I said, this woman, whoever she is, whoever I'm creating right now, is not going to do this. So I just ignored that. I just became this badass straight away, and did the scene and just tried to get across. And I think when you play as Evie, I think I've made her as truthful as possible to a human experience, and I think my job as an actress is to do that and to bring her to real life, that people can relate to this character and not just, be somebody that assassinates people. I wanted her to be a lot more than that.
Nice.
Okay.
Had you played the Assassin's Creed games before? So was it something you knew about when you got the role? Was it either something, I guess, that you were like, oh my god, it's Assassin's Creed, or you're like, oh yeah, I've heard of this?
Yeah, I'd heard of it. I've had a bit of a gap from playing video games. I grew up playing video games, but I've been working on my acting and been filming, and so I haven't had as much time to game. But I knew of the franchise, which very much excited me, and I have played Unity and I've played Black Flag, but not to the extent of, I imagine, some of your listeners. But yeah, I was very excited. I mean, who wouldn't be? I mean, it's one of the biggest franchises for video games in the world, and video games just seem to be getting better and better and more, in the public eye.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, Assassin's Creed's got to be in the top really 3 franchises that's still going at the moment, behind maybe Call of Duty and stuff. So I can only imagine like how big that would be to be a part of like that. But
and credit goes to the team as well at Ubisoft. Everybody there works so hard and are so talented in their individual things. I mean, these animators, it just astounds me when I see some of the stuff coming to life. It's incredible.
Yeah. And I was wondering, like, I guess, how long ago was this process starting for you? Because you said you played Black Flag. Was it back when Black Flag was releasing, or before that you were actually already mocapping and voicing Evie?
Oh, no. This was, I thought you just meant, did I play those games? I played them when they came out. But no, I picked them up again in the process. But I auditioned for this last August.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all quite recent.
Yeah, so it was, no, not last August. What are we now? Sorry, the August before.
Oh, okay.
2014.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I was in motion capture this year in Toronto.
I can only imagine how crazy the stuff they're getting you to do is in there. Like, was there anything you're sitting there like, man, I don't want to do that. That looks way too hard, some of those movements.
No, it was great fun. I love to play. That's my thing. As a person, as an actress, I just love to play and to be, we got some fantastic scripts and some great comedy in it as well. And it was just lots of fun. And I got to jump and run around. I'm very active as a person. I've always done sports and things. So for me, this was just the ideal job to combine both of those things together. I
was wondering, actually, and I was talking to James about this before. We were both wondering, since you've seen, obviously you're playing such a pivotal character in this game, what your thoughts were on some of the previous ones. You said you played Black Flag and you played Unity. Can you see, maybe, I'm not sure if you've heard some of the how the community's since responded to those characters, but some of them, especially Unity, hasn't been the most smiling positive responses. And
I heard that. To be honest, I'm not enough of a gamer to comment on it. Like, I feel like I don't know I don't know it enough. I examined the cinematics for a process as an actress, and I enjoyed what the actors brought to that. But for like glitches and the kind of technical aspects, I can't really comment because I don't have enough extensive gaming on that to make a educated statement.
Yeah.
One thing that I wanted to ask, which is a few people actually asked it on here, is with the dialogue for Evie, was there anything that you improvised, like that you came up with yourself?
Yeah, Paul and I, Paul Amos, who plays Jacob Frye, we were always kind of bantering with each other, and we still do. So I think they used some of that stuff, and Ramiro, the director, was very for us playing and allowing it to be organic with our expressions with each other, but yet sticking to the script and how the gamer, it's all about how they're going to navigate through it and getting to the end as they enjoy it. So yeah, there was a little bit of improv, but mainly we did stick to the scripts.
Okay.
What was that like, having to play a brother-sister dynamic and everything? Because I know in the past Assassin's Creeds, there hasn't been that type of relationship at the forefront of a game. It's always been either the love interest like Unity had. You know, so this is something very different. What do you feel is that unique dynamic that Jacob and Evie have in their relationship that kind of makes them so exciting as a team?
Well, I think anybody that has a close sibling will know that. I mean, I just actually Skyped my sister before I spoke to you guys today, and I think you can really be yourself if you're close to your brother or sister. You can really be yourself, and I think that allows so much scope for comedy, for drama, for for anything, because these people are being real with each other. They'll say it how it is, or they'll take risks because they trust each other. So I think it allows for a vast scope for the story, but also I just think it is a fun, like you say, a fun dynamic for the players to enjoy, and they also both have their individual skills. Jacob is very physical and goes in for things, whereas Evie will hold back and will observe and will investigate, will navigate in a different way, and so they learn from each other as the game goes through as well on how to almost use each other's skills to greater their own, and to both together to be a fantastic assassin team.
Yeah, I'm super excited, because I think one of my issues, and James and I've talked about this like extensively, was when we were playing Unity and we felt distracted from the main story, because when you have a certain relationship like a love interest like Arno and Elise had, it can kind of be a distraction. Whereas when you see a brother-sister dynamic, you're like, okay, you have a relationship they're not trying to, there's no need to get across like, oh yeah, these people are in love or whatever. It's like, oh, brother and sister, that's about it. You don't.
Yeah, you can concentrate on the mission. You don't get emotionally too involved.
yeah, exactly. And you have that.
We don't want male gamers getting too emotionally involved. They need to complete things. No, it's good, and it has elements of maybe romance, maybe other things, not between them.
Yes,
but they have. It's a good thing that you can have the comedy, you can have the drama, but it doesn't detach you from what you're there to do, which is take down the Templars.
Yeah. I just want to say that I thank you for bringing up the fact that there's no sort of relationship, as in like a love interest between Jacob and Evie, because it's obvious. It's obvious to us, that's not a thing. But you will not believe the amount of questions I've had, and people saying like, will this happen? It could be a thing. Like, it's not.
It's not Game of Thrones, guys.
It's certainly not. It's certainly not a thing.
Oh god.
Sorry to disappoint anybody, but
yeah.
It's certainly not a thing.
Now we had James actually played Syndicate. He's played a few of the demos, and
oh great.
And I mean, you played the Evie demo, was it, James?
I did. Yeah, I played the Evie demo. Yeah.
Cool. That's good. And what did you get to do on that?
It was the one. Oh, I did. God. It was
the Lucy Thorne stuff.
Yes, that one. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
I mean,
yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, you were raving about it afterwards, like
because.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm sitting here like in Australia, like, well, I'm not playing it anywhere, so, and I'm like, you were my guide to tell me, like, because obviously Ubisoft are great with marketing, that's something undeniable, but after having Unity and we were so worried, and I'm sitting there to James like, tell me everything, you play every detail you can, I need to know how it all runs, and James was raving about it. Good.
Well, that's good. That makes me happy.
James, what was BPR saying? He brought up a relationship because we were talking to another YouTuber who's played more extensively. He was invited out to London to play Syndicate, and he talked about a relationship. Do you want to bring that up, James?
Yeah, it was. He said that it's implied, like he didn't play all of it, so he can't say, but it's implied that there could be some kind of relationship between Evie and Henry Green.
Can you comment?
I'm not allowed to reveal anything.
Oh, in that case, it means it's a thing.
Yeah,
there we go.
Confirmed.
We know, confirmed.
No, it could or could not be a thing. I don't know. He's got a lot of stuff to be doing. She's a busy lady.
It's mysterious, guys. You're never going to buy the game. There you go. No. Then...
Yeah, buy the game and see if Evie gets a kiss or something. See if she gets any action.
Oh, I'm not sure, because obviously there's a lot of stuff you're probably not allowed to say or reveal to us. And we're not going to sit here and ask you, how's the game end? You want to tell us all of that? And, but I think something that's interesting to us is there seems to be a lot of secretive stuff about the start of the game and like where Evie and Jacob come from. And we know there's a close relationship that Evie seems to have with her father. But I mean, we're not really sure. Is the forefront, because obviously Jacob and Evie's goals, it seems like they have the same destination. It's like their goals are aligned so they can work together easily, but at the same time they have very different objectives, almost, or different reasons for doing what they're doing.
I think so, yeah. And actually, when I did a IGN interview recently, they asked me of that, and I think, yeah, you're right. They have their different reasons for going to London, and they're advised not to go to London. They kind of rebel. They're looking after where they live outside of London, and they, almost rebel against their mentor. They lose their parents, and they have this mentor, and he's like, don't go to London. And the twins, they decide that's where they're going to make the most impact. They could continue doing small missions outside of London, but London is where the Industrial Revolution is impacting, where the Templars have taken over, and they know that that's where they need to be to make change. But Jacob wants to be there because he wants to take down the Templars physically, and Evie wants to go in and kind of reform and look at the foundations of why everything's the way it is, and she's very concerned with the Pieces of Eden.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up, though. I feel like this is a rabbit hole that we're not allowed to go down in terms of talking about the Pieces of Eden, but I found it so strange. I'm like, since you haven't played the earliest of the Assassin's Creed games, you might not know that they never really tell us about Pieces of Eden, especially something new like the Shroud, before the release of the game. So I certainly was very surprised playing seeing a demo and having Pieces of Eden brought up and the Shroud and stuff. Are you able to tell us anything about why exactly Evie might be going after these Pieces of Eden?
I don't think I can reveal that at the moment.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I think that's what the Templars have, and that's what she needs to make. By doing that, she's destroying Templar foundations.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. I thought this was a rabbit hole we could go down, but I thought nothing to lose by asking there.
Yeah. No.
Awesome. James, did you have more questions, or do you want to get into the community questions?
We do have community questions. I think we've basically gone over everything that me and you sort of discussed, prior. So I think community questions probably. I think it's time.
Yeah, there could be, just a disclaimer, there could be some ridiculous ones. There usually always is with the people that watch this podcast. It's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah, I like it. It's good fun.
You've got them up, James?
I've got them up, yeah. They're all a lot like there's a few that we've already gone over. So what's your favorite game? Who's your favorite character? Like if you're aware of other Assassin's Creed characters, in the history of the games, are you do you know them well enough to sort of give a favorite or?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I need to meet all the rest of the voice actors to see who's the nicest person.
It's always a safe answer to just go with it. To just go with Ezio, because everyone's gonna love you. Just say your favorite one's Ezio.
Okay, Ezio.
Yeah, it's probably the best. Now it's funny. It's funny you bring that up with voice actors, because, so our podcast name is the KillConnorClub, and Connor's actually the main character of Assassin's Creed 3. Now it was more of a community named podcast than us coming up with that name, but I mean, I guess that is kind of how passionate fans can be, including ourselves. about the characters. No pressure. We're not going to change it to the Kill Evie Club after you play the game or anything.
Please don't. You could just change it to the Team Evie Club.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
We
team.
change it from a KillConnorClub to pro for another character. But yeah, anyway, Tyler, carry on.
Yeah, well, because what was it? Was it yesterday, James? This happened that Noah Watts, who voiced
Yes.
Connor, we didn't know he knew who about the podcast or anything. And you went on his Twitch stream.
He was streaming on Twitch, and I like commented, and like someone else who subscribed to the channel who we're kind of friends with, he said like that he knew about the podcast, and I was like, oh, okay. does he understand that it's a joke, or does he just really think we really hate him? Like,
He did the Connor voice to you, didn't he?
He did the Connor voice. I joined the stream and I was like, hi, and then he like said hi back to me in the Connor voice, and I was like, hey, you should come on our podcast. You know, it'd be banter. And then he was like, you know, that sounds like a trap. I don't think that's a good idea. So, you know, he's a good sport about the whole thing.
I hope so.
Sounds like a trap. I like that. Yeah, I think as actors you have to you just have to go with the banter.
Spot on. Well, there's plenty of banter on this podcast, so we love that someone on here loves it just as much as we do.
Good.
So, community questions, James. What's the first one?
Community questions. Ooh, God, I should have had these prepared. A lot of them, you know. Oh, this one's brilliant. Okay, who would win in a fight, Jacob or Evie?
Well, I'm not going to say Jacob, am I?
Yeah. Yeah. You've got to have seen this coming.
Win, because you know what? She'd probably plan how she's going to fight it, and she would. Yeah, she'd strategize and would win. Maybe not with brutal force. He might win over that.
Yeah, I can only imagine those two as kids, like just Jacob trying to
with kids.
I know.
No,
I wish
as
they'd
kids.
do like a flashback. That would be fun.
just them fighting.
As them growing up. That would be a cool thing to see.
Okay, we've got Fish Yarpster. He asked, what traits? What traits does she have? Is Evie? Obviously.
What traits does she have? Well, she's very conscientious. She's very educated. I like to think she's got a little bit of a swag when she walks. Hey, she's feisty. She's got a lot of passion. She's got a lot of energy and. I think she's going to be what everybody expects a badass female to be. I think she's going to give Lara Croft a run for her money.
Well, that's great. Let's have a little look here. Tyler, you can step in.
I was like, are you scrolling through, James? What are you doing, James? You're embarrassing us.
Super professional podcast. That's what we are.
Oh yeah, here's one. I read this before actually from Destructive Beans. What makes Evie a unique character, and what purpose does she have? In other words, what is her life goals, which we kind of touched on earlier?
Her life goals are to reform, to change for the good. She's all about helping things and helping people and making London a better place to live in for everybody, for every class of people, and to take down the Templar Order so that there's more of a democracy than a dictatorship going on.
Yeah, I always find that in Assassin's Creed games that all the characters have, you know, in their own ways, you know, they want that goodness and, you know, they want to help people and make it a better place. But in a lot of ways, they all find out it's a lot harder than they expect, and it never seems to go the right way. And it almost, as they mature as characters, almost change their views on how they see the world becoming a better place. Does Evie have a similar type of development?
Certainly, yeah. She, from the beginning of the game, and I think, you know, as a process, as an actress doing the game, you learn so much that comes through with the character, and you almost mature with the game as with the character. And yeah, it certainly does. The beginning of the game is very playful, it's very light, and it's, you know, it is a game to go to London until they get there. And particularly Evie, I think, well, they both are completely out of their depth when they get there, because they've never been to London, which is a huge city in itself, to even navigate, let alone take down an order that's running the whole place and all the public transport and everything like that. And then, you know, they're very young, in their early 20s, and they are not quite ready for it, you know. It's so they learn that, and then obviously, you know, they encounter characters that will play on their emotions in different ways. And so it's that, and, you know, as in life, it's an adventure when you risk and you do something big. You have not just the goal that you set out to do, there's other little hurdles along the way that you have to master.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, right. Well, I've got one here from Demon Death Hunter, and he asked, do you relate to your character in any way?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, I do. And I think when I was building and creating Evie, I had to, and I do this with every role, I have to find where that character lives within myself. And I'm very driven as a person, and I'm very ambitious, and I'm very physical, but also conscientious, and I plan a lot. Like every step of my career, I feel is planned and is thought out, and I like to make sure that as much as I can, I'm helping other people as I help myself. So I think those traits definitely come across with Evie.
Did you get that chance to really, did Ubisoft, I guess, give you the opening to be like, okay, we've written a character, but you can, you know, mold it into, you know, obviously the way you want to play her, or the way you feel like you should play her?
Yeah, I very much was able to, I don't want to say be in charge, because it's not the right word, but being able to do the motion capture and the face, as well as the voice. You create a character like I would for theatre, television, film, and you create a person. So they enjoyed what I was doing, and I took risks on things she was doing, and, you know, they wrote that language from my facial expressions and my body expressions, and took that and animated the character with it. So they definitely decided on how she would look, and you know, her little freckles and the way her hair is and those things. But I asked them to, which is an exclusive, I haven't told anybody this yet. I asked them to put the pocket watch on her, because she originally didn't have that. And I said, well, this lady, you know, she's all about timing, she's all about planning. She would need a device that allows her to do that. So they were very accommodating and added that for me.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, it seems cool. It's so crazy different now to hear about how video games are put together with the actors now, because it's no longer just, even it was only a few years ago that it was just a person goes into a booth and they talk and that's it. And now it's like you're not just voicing a character, you're playing the role in its entirety. You're, you know, motion capturing the movements, you're playing out the scenes on like a theatre stage. Like I can only imagine for you that, like you said, you hadn't even auditioned for a video game before. Must have been surprising for you to be like, wow, this is, you know, isn't just voice acting. This is, I'm playing a role like any other.
Yeah, that was, and the medium that you do it in, that motion capture stage, is great, because unlike theatre or film or television, there's no set and there's no costume and there's really no props. So everything is your imagination, which I don't know about other actors, but for me, that's the reason I do this career, because I love to imagine, I love to play imaginary games and be in imaginary situations and have, you know, these imaginary characters and build this world. So we had free reign to to do that, which was just so great.
Yeah, that would have been so much fun. I can only imagine.
Yeah, it's like, cops and robbers in the playground. You're running around like, shooting people, and then they're like, well, just don't walk there because there's a wall. You're like, okay.
And here's a bunch of dots, and we're just going to paint these dots on your face and put this camera on your face and lights.
Put dots on your face. It was great. It's really great.
Okay, right. There's another question from Tyreek Roberts, and he asked, what was the funniest thing that happened while you were voice acting or, motion capping or whatever? As Evie?
There was so many funny things that happened. A couple of things I can't talk about yet because they haven't announced those things that are in the game. But I think somebody posted, there's a thing about Jacob and the Little Dipper. I think that's come out now. And so when we motion captured that, I must have been in a playful mood, and I dared Paul Amos to say, instead of "come back, you filthy dipper," I dared him to say, "come back, you chicken dipper." And I didn't think he would actually do it, and he did. So that was quite fun. And then then we went for the take the next time round, and he did it by mistake and said that again. So yeah, that was really quite funny. So yeah.
I wonder, because they did it for Rogue, didn't they, James? They actually animated bloopers.
Did they do that?
I felt like I saw Luma post bloopers of Rogue, so it actually had from stories like that, I guess, and they just animated it and left it in.
That is so cool.
That would be really funny. Loads of fun stuff happened. Some cool stuff with Abeline as well, and yeah, it was really, really great things.
I mean, there's got to be ways.
That was fun.
There had to be ways to keep yourselves entertained, I guess, because I can only imagine you must have had like full, like long as days, and you're just in this like blank space, and it would have been exhausting, and you're just like, let's just mess around.
Called it the padded cell because there's no windows down there, and so there's I think there's 180 cameras or something like that, 360 degrees around us.
Far out.
So it was quite interesting for me because I had to keep asking the sound and camera guys, because obviously we're all hooked up with these microphones and cameras on our face and stuff like that. Anytime you need to go to toilet, you have to like unhook it all, because otherwise like the whole world's gonna see you. And if they just don't unpack the microphone and got the whole it's not glamorous.
You're gonna call in sick the next day because you can't face everybody.
Nah, you get over all of that stuff pretty quick as an actor. But it was that was quite funny.
Okay. Tyler, do you have any questions, or shall I continue?
Yeah, keep going. I'll just butt in and ask my own questions as we go through.
Sure,
sorry, man.
Okay, so we got a question from Medina Gaming. This is probably completely unrelated, but I had to ask it because I'm curious as well. So, like, in the past Assassin's Creed games, we've had this big, huge, like, plot device, which has been, like, like Adam and Eve, like, from the first Civilization, all that stuff. And he's wondering if Evie and Eve are related in any way, or whether it's just a coincidence.
Oh, wow. Well, I don't know if they are, so I don't know.
That probably means there's nothing in the game necessarily relating to it, like, because
I like that idea though.
Yeah,
to start that.
I like that idea too. I mean, come on, Ubisoft, make it. Come on.
It could be in the modern day though, James, as well. Hopefully,
could be, but who knows what.
I do like her name though, Evie. It's a good name.
Yeah,
stemming from Evelyn. Which is good.
There's because I'm saying that as soon as we all heard it, I guess, because I'm not sure if you know this, but for years, I think since Brotherhood, so since 2010, there's been this Eve name brought up, just Eve, constantly about a bloodline of Eve, and in Unity, in the DLC, all of a sudden a character mentions, give this to the Lady Eve as an artifact, and we're all sitting there like, what the fuck's going on? What? And so I guess now seeing Evie, we're like, oh wow, maybe there's...
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I am the bloodline. No, I don't know. That would be cool though, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
It would.
know.
it
It'd
would.
give
I don't know
certainly
the
would.
answer to that.
happiness if that was a thing, but who knows? We'll
Yeah.
have to wait. We'll have to wait and see.
Question though, very good question.
Let's see. Oh, this is a good one from Oliver. Oh God, what's that? How do you pronounce that? Piercy? Probably. Yeah. Okay. And he asked, if you could have an AC game in any time period, what would it be?
Do you know what? Victorian period is my favourite. So I mean, I am doing what I love, but I suppose if I had to choose another one, maybe like the Tudors, like medieval. I don't know.
Yeah, that's one that I've always brought up.
Yeah,
I always
Tudor times.
I always wanted a game in England, so I guess Victorian London it's good.
Yeah,
I was
I'm
happy
really
about
happy with that. Like for me, it's all the familiarity of all the, I get to climb Big Ben and
Yeah, that's something I'm
House of
definitely excited
Parliament
about.
and the changing of the guard and all that fun stuff. Victorian London is my favourite period. I'm glad that I'm part of this game.
Yeah, and as well, I mean, there's so many with Assassin's Creed, so many historical figures that you get to, I guess, as the characters pretend to meet. Was that interesting for you, especially since you, like you said, you're a huge fan of that time period? Was it interesting for you to have to play against characters that are real historical figures? Yeah,
it was great, and they brought in some fantastic actors over from England as well as Canada to play with. So we get to meet Charles Dickens, Charles Darwin, Alexander Graham Bell, all these amazing people. Frederick Aberline, who was head of the police force. Yeah, it's so that just adds to everything, and the people that are playing these roles are wonderful.
I mean, I'm excited because I'm a person that I love history, and it's something I've always loved about the games. And I last year got a chance. I went to Italy after years and years of wanting to go because of Assassin's Creed, and that's something that was so amazing. It's such an amazing experience. And now I'm like, over the years, I'm accumulating. I'm like, oh God, they're putting out a game every year. I've got all this long list now of places I've got to go. And I had to go through and stop over in London, but I was disappointed I didn't actually get to go over. I mean, both of you have been, obviously you're from the UK, but that's something, I mean, for me, I have no connection to, but I'd love to actually get a chance again. That's another thing that's now on the list of to-do places, I guess.
Oh, you must. It's one of the most romantic and beautiful cities in the world. I really
we can go together, Tyler.
Yeah, you could go on a date. Valentine's you two together.
Oh, it'd be fantastic.
That'd be great.
What a cute date idea, James.
You can take like little snaps. And I was thinking on the London Eye lights up pink for Valentine's, so you could do that.
Oh my God.
Podcast from the top of it together.
And and Elva, your girlfriend James, will just stand next to us awkwardly as the third wheel.
She can take the pictures.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I can imagine that conversation, how that would go down. Hey, Elva, do you want to go to London for Valentine's Day so you can take pictures of me and Tyler?
Yeah, that won't last much longer if that's the case, if that's what you do.
Oh, questions. There's a lot of these are asking like as if you're kind of like a dev, so they're kind of asking you like things about how the game works, and it's like I can't really ask like those things.
Yeah,
like,
you have to speak to the lovely Jeff Skolsky or Mac.
Yeah.
I've got a question that I've seen. I don't know if I've seen it properly here, but I guess I'm wondering how much of Syndicate have you played? Have you got a chance to actually sit down and play the whole game or parts of the game?
I've played through it. I've not played the whole thing through, but I mean, I've done the whole script, which was like 1,000 pages.
Yeah, jeez, video game scripts. I can imagine
I
how big that is.
have played actually through it, but not on the video game.
Are you happy with how the I guess not quite the final result because the game's not out, but how everything's turning out?
Yeah, I think every time I see more and more stuff, I'm like blown away because I couldn't even the first audition for this to where it is now, I couldn't even begin to imagine the scope of it and how incredible it is, and just every day they surprise me with things. I'm like, wow, oh my god, okay, we're doing that. Wow, okay, and it's just really exciting, and I'm learning as well, even now, more about the game, and obviously because Jacob and Evie have different missions. Some of the stuff I didn't get to see Paul do, so I'm getting to see some of the characters that he worked with that I didn't work with, and vice versa.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And
Okay.
would you consider either, I guess, now that you've done your first video game, especially something so huge like Assassin's Creed and as a lead role, is that something you'd look at doing again, with either with Ubisoft or just with in general?
Yeah, certainly, and I have been requested to some auditions already. So yeah, I don't think I'll be putting motion capture to bed, and I would love to take the motion capture skills that I've learned into film. I'm very excited about doing that, and been looking a lot at Andy Serkis's work, and I would like to pioneer as a female in the movie industry to use motion capture.
Yeah, Andy Serkis is a great idol for that. I mean, he's unbelievable. Like, there's no one better with motion capture. It was... Oh man, I've lost my thought. I'm sorry. Keep going,
no.
James. Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna ask, like, assuming you like obviously know where Evie's going, like how the story's going, is one problem that a lot of people had with Unity was that you played through this entire game and like you get right to the end, and it's essentially the ending makes you feel like, wow, everything I kind of did throughout this game was pointless. I was wondering if you like could say if the ending or how Syndicate ends up, like, character wise, is rewarding for the player. Like, when you get to the end, do you think that was good, that was worth playing, like it's satisfactory?
Oh, certainly, yeah, certainly there is a resolution, which is good.
Okay.
So when you were talking about bringing, motion capture into movies, but I guess speaking of still Assassin's Creed, have you been approached or maybe even talked with Ubisoft about, since they're about to film or are filming now, the Assassin's Creed movie?
I would love to be involved in that. I haven't, and to be honest, the demands of the game have kind of taken me. So I've been so busy, and I'm actually going to film a movie in New York this week. So I'm, at the moment I'm like so booked up, but I would love to be involved in that. I think we need to get the fans on that, because I think it would be a great thing to have somebody that's in the video game to be in the film.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
For the fans, I think that would just add a nice element.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say something and I've lost it. It was something. Oh, I know. I remember. Do you think we're ever gonna see Evie again, or do you think this is it? Like, do you think she'll come back?
Is that the question? Does Evie die?
No. Just because Ubisoft, like, recently they like to just make a character and then they just never talk about it again as if they never existed. Do you think they'll visit Evie and Jacob again, or do you think this is a one-off thing?
Yeah,
I would love to see that happen. I don't know. Maybe we can put that thought out there. I don't know if that's happening. Obviously, we have DLCs and things coming out, so we're involved in those. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully she will be mentioned, and I think it will be dependent on how well they respond. Like, the fans, if they love Evie and want to see her again, then I think Ubisoft are always open to what the fans want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess a reason, James. I know, I'm glad you asked that, James, because it's something I've been so worried about, and so many people in the community have, because I guess over the years, when you play a game, especially like Assassin's Creed, it's a huge experience to play those games. There's so much that goes into those games, and when you have characters, some people love them, some people hate them. Depending on their opinions on the past games, but when you play that, and then a year later, Assassin's Creed's putting out the next Assassin's Creed, but your character you've just invested your time in, you feel like it's more worth it when you know, next year's I'm going to see this character again, what's going to happen to them, because you spend so much time with them.
It's really clever, and brilliant that you bring that up, because I fully agree, and a lot of people said, will you be doing the next one? I said, well, it doesn't really normally work like that. you know, they bring a new assassin each time, and that's the format of it. But you know, there's always, this is, you know, like you say, the first female for a next gen console, so who knows, they might use that idea and bring her back, and I would love to be part of it if they do that.
Yeah, see, we've talked about it before. Like we had like Altair in the first one, then they did 3 Ezio games, which was amazing because everyone loved him. And the first like 4, you could say 5 games, all interjoined in like the story and the characters, like they were all together in the same story. And something they haven't done since Ezio is have a game with the same character for multiple games, and it's something that me and Tyler just something that we want to have again, and I know a lot of people do as well. So you know, it
well,
be
keep
good to
it
see.
out there. I know Ubisoft look at all the social media and everything, so if they love Evie and they play a Syndicate and want to spend more time with her, then I think just voice that as a community, and I'm sure they will respond.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. I know I will. I'm so excited.
And I'm enjoying working with the fans and meeting everybody, and it's such a great process. It would be a shame not to do more things in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. What you got? The next fan question, James?
just kind of sifting through them. They're all kind of really the same.
I've got a good one that I've been looking at, which is it's from Oilerzoid, which is pretty much, do you voice other characters in the game? I mean, for example, it could be like, did you do like extras work where you're just doing voices of random civilians or people in the modern day, or were you just Evie?
I tell you, yeah, the one little tiny moment that I haven't told anybody, that I did a tiny bit of motion capture for another character, but they wouldn't let me do it, even though I was excited. Sometimes I did, like, one of the time though I couldn't stop laughing, so they took me out. Because there's a scene with a seance, which is really good, and I had to be one of the members that were watching that, and the guy that plays the kind of psychic, he's just so funny that I was like, I can't even do this, and we just did take after take, and all of us just burst out laughing. So I
oh wow.
But there's a scene, I think, where Evie is on the train and there's some stowaways, and I am the little child stowaway as well as Evie.
You yourself talking to yourself?
I think they use my like whimper.
Oh, okay.
The kid, like, it was me. Like, I was like, oh my god, I'm playing. How can I play this? But it doesn't matter what size you are, because they just make the body smaller.
Okay. Yeah, someone asked. This comes. Oh god, I always pick the ones with the weird names. It's like a hyphen, then a V, then wall, 007 ST.
Great.
And he asked, "What's your favorite scene or line in Assassin's Creed Syndicate?" If there's any that aren't, that you can.
That's
that you can
a
talk.
good one. Favorite line. Oh, my favorite line. There was 2 alternative lines for a scene that I did, but I don't know which one they've used, and one of those was my favorite, but I can't say because that gives away too much. My favorite lines I can't talk about yet because it gives too much story away. I don't know. I quite just like shouting Jacob a lot in many different tones of voice.
The angry, more mature sister just yelling at the idiot brother.
Like a thousand ways to say Jacob. I should do a YouTube video.
Just montaging it.
Like Connor constantly shouting Charles Lee in Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah, I'd be interested to anybody that can count how many times I say Jacob. No, because I think it'll be over 1,000. Probably.
It's good you put that out there, because I guarantee someone will do this for you. 100%.
Great. Good. And if they want to send me a Rolex watch as well.
And flowers and chocolates and just everything, yeah.
I love red roses. And, Lily, they're great. Amazon gift card vouchers and definitely a book.
Have you heard? Hey, James, I was wondering. This is a question about Syndicate for you. But has the name and title come out for the Syndicate book yet?
Yeah. It's
Yeah, I think it
Underworld,
just
I
came
think.
out.
Is it Assassin's Creed Underworld? I think it's about Henry Green.
Yes, that's it. It's
Yeah.
called Underworld, and it is about Henry. It's Henry's story.
That came out ages ago. That was like May this
Really?
year, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been out for ages.
I should have read that by
I did
now.
a video on it. God, guys.
I
you're
feel-
all rubbish.
Oh.
I feel horrible. I feel like not a fan.
Yeah, you should. Terrible.
You should fake fan Tyler. Well, even on this podcast, I'll get Joe back.
I'm sorry, man. Don't do this.
Yeah, no, I need to read that because I have a book out as well. So I said to them like, I'll read your book, you read mine.
Well, yeah, I guess you'd have to read Henry Green since Evie's love interest confirmed with Henry Green, as you said earlier.
That was not confirmed.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's confirmed, but okay, well, I'll let you have that one.
No. There's nothing confirmed there.
You
You
just gotta
guys
keep
can
saying
you
that so
think she's
Ubisoft
busy.
don't
I told you
shoot
she's
her.
busy. She doesn't have time for men.
Yeah, okay. I'll let you have it. Here's a good one. Professor Burrito HD asked, when you were handed the script, what was your first thoughts about Evie's character?
What was my first thoughts were, let's go, let's get started. I'm just pumped. She's just awesome, and let's do this. Let's see how she walks. Let's see how she talks. Let's see how she interacts with everybody, and let's play. That was my first thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, after such a long process, I can only imagine how excited you are to just play from start to finish the full game.
Yeah, that's going to be fun to see it all come together. I mean, we did. Say we shot most. I mean, like a movie and TV, you never shoot anything in order, but we did. I suppose we did kind of do the sequences in order when we shot it, so that was nice.
I guess it would be easier to do it that way with a video game because you don't have to have this convenient sets built at a certain time, so you should film this now and this part later and everything.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about night and day shoots or locations. So, yeah.
Because you can just imagine everything.
Could you imagine we had to actually shoot it in London? That would be the next thing in like 10 years' time.
Oh, wow. They just build everything, or they could probably just compute it in, hopefully, holograms. They'll just hologram everything around you.
Yeah.
I didn't actually...
I suppose they kind of do, but... Yeah. Oh, actually, no. They did have this really cool thing. The guys there are like inventors as well, so they were inventing all this like technology, and they showed us the layout of the thing on the TV screen by just using this little camera. It was amazing. I can't even describe it. I don't even think it has a name yet. It was a great gadget that they built.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That'd be some cool stuff to see, to be like, no one knows, no one's ever used this before, no one's ever seen this, but I'm going to be the person they're filming.
Yeah. I really hope they get to show you guys some of the, more of the motion capture set and what we did to build it, because it's really interesting to watch what we did.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Okay.
There's a lot of exciting stuff to see.
Yeah. I don't think we actually have any more community questions left. I think we've essentially gone through
Well, that's
everything.
Good. That's good. I'm hopefully that was beneficial and we answered everybody's questions. I think we probably did.
Yeah. I mean, we went through a lot.
I think that was great.
Thank you so much for your time. I know you're really busy, so we really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem at all. Thank you for having me on, and I hope that everybody enjoys playing Assassin's Creed, and tweet me and go on my Facebook page and enjoy my excitement lead up to the launch of the game, and also all the way to Christmas with the DLC and all these other things that are coming out. But I thank everybody for their support, and I'm excited that you're excited about Evie. That makes me very happy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Cool.
100%.
Yeah. I think everyone's gonna really enjoy this. That everyone's saying they're hyped, like Evie, they're super hyped for that. And obviously we're gonna leave all of any links for Victoria will be in the description. So if you want to go check out, like you said, her Facebook and so on, then you can obviously go ahead and do that, as well as me and Tyler description.
Yeah, cool. And also go buy my book if you wanna read some more stuff. It's called London Love, and it's on Amazon.
Yeah, everyone go do that. There you go.
What's the book about?
The book is a romance thriller set in London. based on Shaftesbury Avenue, and it's about two actors that fall in love behind the stage door of the Gielgud Theatre, and they go on this crazy journey. And there's lots of adventure and excitement, as well as highs and lows. It's fun. It's a fun book to read.
Yeah,
and it's not that long.
Really
it's quite
interesting,
easy.
actually,
Good, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we
I've
should
just
do
recorded
a live
the audio book as well, so if people aren't tired of hearing my voice, they'll be able to listen to that book as well.
Okay, well, we'll definitely leave that in the description as well, so people can go and check that out.
Thanks.
But yeah, I think we should go ahead and wrap this up. Tyler, do you have anything else to say?
I think we did talk about this. We wanted to do this with guests, but I mean, you haven't played Assassin's Creed 3, so I don't know if it would work. But since it is called the KillConnorClub, we do feel obliged to get your opinions, if you have any, if you've seen anything about the man who apparently we want to kill.
I don't know him at all, so I can't help on that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But
I can't.
that's all right.
Don't kill him. Don't kill him.
Oh, it's all right. No. We didn't name it. Oh, I will say this, but I do love the name in the same sense.
Yeah,
it's all good fun.
It's a cool name. It's a cool. It's catchy.
It is catchy, isn't it?
It's a badass name.
We're gonna get him on one day. We'll have him on.
If I meet him
with
with my Assassin's Creed stuff, I will tell him that you guys are really nice and don't want to kill him.
Oh well, yeah, we love Noah Watts. It's just the character he played, I'm not the biggest fan of.
We don't even hate Connor necessarily. Like we said, it was a community thing. So
yeah, it's all in good fun though. Yeah. And I'm sure one day we'll get him on. I hope. If he doesn't feel like we're trapping him.
You will. I'm sure you will. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much again. We really appreciate you coming on for this amount of time. We know you're really busy and everything, and obviously I'm sure everyone that's watching a podcast like this is definitely going to be buying the game, and I'm sure they'll all love Evie. Good.
Well, I hope they enjoy it, and I hope they enjoy what we've made, because it was a lot of fun to make. So enjoy the journey and the adventure with Evie through Victorian London, and let me know how you're getting on with it. Tweet me. I always love to hear from all the fans.
Yeah, 100%. Anything else, James?
I think that's it. I think we can go and end this thing. So thanks for everyone for watching. Be sure to like the video, obviously, if you enjoyed, and subscribe to both me and Tyler. And check out all the links in the description for obviously me, Tyler, and Victoria. And we'll see you next time on the next episode of the KillConnorClub. So see you next time. Bye.
See you later. Woo.